What's going on, guys? It's your boy Drinker here, coming back at you with another video, and today we are talking about the Black Ops 6 beta. Now, before the video begins, please be sure to leave a like if you do enjoy it, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all that good shit. It really does help the channel grow a ton. Be sure to check out my locals as well if you wish to support me further in the future. Now, this beta has definitely been a bit more polished than the last few Call of Duties. Yeah, it has had some issues, but overall it's definitely performed a lot better. I've had a few crashes, but nothing excessive. Day one, there was a login issue that on Steam it affected people from playing, myself included, and it took them about a day to patch that to where you were able to play. Essentially, it would tell you that your username was inappropriate and then ask you to change it, but you weren't able to change it. It was really stupid. Now, I do want to mention right off the bat that these servers are terrible, maybe some of the worst in Call of Duty history. It's actually comical how bad these servers have been during the beta, and they have to do something about this packet burst as well. They forced everyone to have the on-demand texture streaming turned on, even though everyone's had it off for years, because it creates a ton of packet burst, and now, of course, we have to have it on. These are things that they definitely should have ironed out by now, and of course, you know, some issues during the beta is expected, but these are key severe issues that they really need to figure out really quickly. Desync is really an issue as well, and it has been for quite a while in COD, but it's really bad in this beta, which again, it's not surprising. You have a lot of times where you look at someone and you're just dead, and then you watch their kill cam and they shot you like 8 times with an SMG, and you're like, wow, that's just not what happened. But again, it will probably be better during the full release. Connection issues are more expected during the beta. One thing that's funny too is people are getting banned for no reason. Just if they get mass reported, they just get auto banned. There's no review process, which is crazy because the beta is full of cheaters. I mean, riddled with them. Banning people who aren't cheating and not banning the cheaters is wild. The game audio also doesn't work properly. Activision confirmed this. It doesn't prioritize things like close footstep audio. When it does work properly, though, I think it's pretty fair. If someone is close to you, or if it's quiet, you can hear them, but you're not hearing them across the map. When the audio works, it seems to work very well, and I think be very reasonable. It just has issues with it actually working. Now, half the time when I'm playing, I'm just playing without sound and just like watching YouTube or something, but I have noticed that the audio, when it does work, is very good. And again, because it's a beta, of course, it's been super sweaty. It's expected, it's a closed beta, but it's always good to point out, like, holy shit, it's sweaty. It's just a sweaty sweat fest. I mean, people, calm down. I don't know why people have to go hard. It's not like it counts for anything, but damn, they are sweaty. An interesting change that they made as well is they did nerf aim assist up close. I do think that they probably actually broke it a little bit at range, because there's times where you're not getting aim assist at range. But overall, I actually think it's a positive change, because it does kind of level the playing field for the inputs. For a long time, mouse and key players, they really couldn't compete up close. And they've been complaining about it for a long time, and someone like myself, who, you know, I grew up on the older Call of Duties, the aim assist is nowhere near as strong. You know, I'm definitely in favor of this change. I just think that, again, I do think that they fucking broke it long range. The time to level up guns takes forever currently. This has also been addressed, and it will be adjusted for weekend 2 of the beta. Now keep in mind, they only said it's going to be adjusted for weekend 2. This does not mean it's going to be adjusted for the launch of the game. I suspect that there will be some tweaks, but knowing Activision and knowing Call of Duty in general, they'll probably fuck it up. Now, we only have a few maps, 4 so far. Looks like Scud, Derelict, Rewind, and Skyline. And so far, the best map, and it's not particularly close, is Derelict. Next is Rewind. Scud is easily the worst map, and Skyline's kind of in the middle. None of them are particularly great, though. I'm not really impressed by the maps in the game. And Scud should probably just be deleted from the game. It's fucking horrendous. Especially when you compound in how bad the spawns are in the beta. And when I say they're bad, I mean they're fucking horrible. These spawns are just terrible, and you'd think that Call of Duty, like every year we seem to have issues with spawns, and you'd think that the developers would, you know, be able to make good spawns after this time, but for some reason it's always an issue, especially since they went to the new engines here in the last couple of years. Where you are seems to have no effect on the enemy spawns, and that's a problem. If I'm in a certain spot, enemies should not spawn there. Really, the only game mode that's like worth playing in the beta is Dom, because the spawns are okay in Dom. They're still fucked up, but they're okay. And one thing I do appreciate about Treyarch Call of Duties, and it's always refreshing to go back to, is Treyarch actually uses some color in their games, so it is a lot easier to distinguish enemy players. There's still some visibility issues in this game, like if someone's camping in a really tight shadowy spot, but overall it is a much more vibrant game than like the Infinity Ward Call of Duties, where they basically just use one color and that's gray. These score streaks take a really long time to accrue, and they don't really make sense in terms of, you know, how many points you need. A UAV is 675 points. I mean, maybe they want to stop UAV spam, but I shouldn't need to get 7 freaking kills just to get a UAV. The weapon balancing needs a little bit of work. Most of the guns seem pretty balanced, but the Jackal PDW is clearly the best gun in the beta. It's the pre-order gun, so I'm sure that's, you know, just a coincidence. It is clearly just a lot stronger than the other guns in the game. And the time to kill in the game, it seems fast, and it probably seems too fast, but when everyone's running the Jackal PDW, maybe it's not as fast as it feels like, because, again, everyone is using that gun, so maybe the time to kill is actually a little bit more reasonable than it actually feels. It's possible that it makes it seem like the time to kill is faster than it actually is. Now, the game looks like Cold War, but it doesn't really play like it because of the new movement. It still feels like Call of Duty despite how different the movement feels, though. The new movement, it's very interesting. It feels really scuffed and janky at first, but it gets really smooth as you start to learn it. Sometimes people lay prone in the game too, but they're on their backs, and it doesn't really register with you that they're not dead, and they'll end up killing you because you're like, oh yeah, that guy's actually alive, because people don't normally lay like that in any other Call of Duty. With the new movement, I really do wonder how the playstyles are going to progress and how big this skill gap is going to get. I wonder if we're going to look back at a lot of these beta gameplays and realize that they're just horrible, or I wonder if it's not really going to be that big of a change. I'm definitely very interested to see kind of where things go, especially from like the pros perspective, to see just what they can do with this crazy movement. The human shield thing is a fun gimmick and isn't super useful from a gameplay perspective, but it's created a ton of hilarious clips. I like that Treyarch is putting something in the game that, again, it doesn't really have much of a use, but it's just a fun, goofy thing to have in the game. We've kind of been missing that in Call of Duty for a long time, where there was just something goofy and fun. It's always just been really like serious, and we have to be super realistic, so it's good to go back to a more arcadey feel there. Now, I'm not really sure how I feel about the game overall. I think that this will probably be the best COD since at least Cold War, but that's not saying much. Again, I'm just really not sure what to think overall. And I would really like to know what you guys think, if you've been enjoying the beta, or if you're excited for the game, or if you don't like it and why. Myself, I'm pretty negative towards Call of Duty in the modern era. I think the last several releases have been extremely subpar. And even Cold War, which is the last time I would say I kind of enjoyed Call of Duty, Cold War wasn't even really that great. I mean, we called it Cold Snore at the time because it was kind of boring. This COD, unlike any other COD, I think personally I'm going to need some time to kind of reflect and digest to see how I feel. But again, let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like. Like I said, it helps the channel grow a ton. Subscribe, turn on post notifications, all that good shit. Check out my locals if you wish to support me further. But as always, guys, this has been your boy Drinker, and I am out of here. Peace.